views, reviews, previews, and interviews. Our unwavering lenses will be relaying the Nigerian perspective on world affairs and internal developments. Tonight, police recover baby stolen from hospital. NAB corporate with smart maneuver in Ado-Ekiti. See something, say something. Zamfara indigenes confront insecurity with courage. On agriculture, we have a story on the farmers' bus in Borno offering free ride from residents to farmlands, already reaping a harvest of smiles. And in education, not too young to pass. Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board inaugurates committee to vet underage candidates.
The institutions will submit latest by 16th of September. They will submit the scores of the post-UTME. Anybody who is below 80 is already out of it.
Also tonight, we have a special on sports. A queen of the court, a model mother, and a gold medalist of Road and One, Sarah Ogoke, wins more than the Afro Women's Basketball Championship. She won hearts with a story of strength and resilience. Buddy has that and other stories on sports, while on business, weaving a sturdy fabric of growth and progress in the cotton, textile and garment sector. Benny will be counting every penny tonight. Like we say on this shift, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Ian Ray John, and this is News Extra. Welcome. With the stroke of a pen, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has repealed the 2003 Insurance Act, replacing it with the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025, a law NICOM and stakeholders hailed as a game changer for market growth and consumer protection. Musa Abubakar reports.
A historic shift is here. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assented the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025, a bold law that replaces the 2003 Act and redefines the future of insurance in Nigeria. With stricter capital requirements, compulsory insurance, and full market digitization, NIRA 2025 promises faster claims, stronger protection for policyholders, and a modernized industry ready for global competition. Praised by the National Insurance Commission as a game changer, the reform is backed by lawmakers, finance minister, and key stakeholders, all united in driving Nigeria toward a $1 trillion economy. The goal is clear: boost market confidence, attract fresh investment, and market Nigeria's insurance sector, a leader across Africa and beyond. The reforms are signed. Now the real work begins. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And talking about our work, Musa Abubakar, we have joining us now the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Insurance Commission, NICOM, Olusegun Ayo Omoshin. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here, and good evening, Nigerians.
All right, so maybe I should begin by saying congratulations on the act, but how important is the NIRA 2025 for Nigeria's insurance sector?
Thank you so much. I think I will start on a note of congratulations to Nigerians and especially to the insurance sector. NIRA 2025, which is the Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025, marks the beginning of a new era in the insurance sector. And this is because there's a historical context to this. The last time there was a law in the insurance sector was in 2003. So NIRA 2025 is a consolidation legislation. By this, it has brought together about 5 different pieces of legislation: the Nigerian Insurance Act 2003, the Marine Insurance Act, the Third Party Motor Insurance Act, the Nigeria Corporation of National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act, the Nigerian Insurance Corporation, those pieces of legislation has been codified into one. And this also provides a single basis for regulating the sector. More importantly, is the aspect around introduction of a new minimum share capital requirement and the introduction of risk-based capital as a basis of regulating insurance institutions. But more importantly is the enhanced consumer protection aspect of the law. The law actually introduces or lends more credence to the protection of Nigerian consumer with the creation of a consumer protection fund, which will enable Nigerians to be compensated in the event of any insurance institution having trouble. The most important aspect of this is a modern law. It's a law that has taken into cognizance the current realities of our times by recognizing the technological landscape and the ecosystem which we live.
All right, fantastic. Many thanks, Mr. Moshe. But talking about capital requirements now, how will stricter rules strengthen the sector without harming smaller firms?
Thank you. I think I will start from the objective of Mr. President's vision for a $1 trillion economy. This can only be possible with very strong institutions, well capitalized, to be able to de-risk a $1 trillion economy. So in line with that agenda, Mr. President has graciously signed into law this new bill. The bill has brought into being a situation where we will create bigger institutions, stronger and more stable, to be able to provide the much needed security in terms of the necessary backup that is required for an economy like this. And mind you, there's no economy in the world that can strive without the necessary support and backing and the financial protection provided by the insurance sector. This is what Mr. President has achieved by signing into law.
Talking about, all right, thank you. Talking about this backing, the Protection Fund is one of that backing. How would this be funded and assessed in the case of insolvency?
Oh, thank you. The funding of the Protection Fund is actually going to come from the operators in the market. The law has made provision for a fraction of whatever they receive as premium to go into a protection fund, which then is used as a buffer in the case of insolvency of any of these institutions. But more importantly, I think, is the fact that we have a more vibrant and ready to go industry that is opened and more determined, to really give the necessary protection to the Nigerian people.
All right. Many thanks, Olusegun Ayomoshe. Because of time, we'll have to leave the conversation at this point. Of course, it's a continuous one, and we hope to have you on some other programs to shed more light on this act, talking about NERA. Many thanks for being our guest on News Extra.
Thank you very much.
All right, still on NERA, the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Matters has commended President Bola Tinubu's assent to the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act, saying it marks a pivotal milestone in our collective efforts to reposition Nigeria's financial services sector for inclusive growth and global competitiveness. In a statement, Chairman of the committee, Senator Mukail Adetokunbo Abiru, notes that the NERA 2025 represents one of the most comprehensive and far-reaching reforms in the history of Nigeria's insurance industry, as it aligns with the federal government's vision of building a $1 trillion economy. The law, according to the Senate, to the statement, introduces higher capital adequacy thresholds to strengthen the financial resilience and operational soundness of insurers and reinsurers, while also establishing a dedicated protection fund to safeguard policyholders' interest in cases of insurer insolvency or failure. The NERA 2025 equally strengthens the enforcement of compulsory insurance policies, such as the motor vehicle, public buildings and workers' compensation for protection of lives and property. At a broader level, the legislation provides for Nigeria's deeper participation in regional insurance systems, such as the ECOWAS Brown Card system, and enhancing cross-border coverage and cooperation. All right, let's talk more business. Benny Adams is here. Benny.
Thank you, Irene. Now talking business. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, through its Weights and Measures Department, has assured consumers of right to quality delivery of goods and services. This is as the department kicked off the 2025 annual market surveillance exercise across the Federal Capital Territory and all the 36 states of the Federation. The aim is to enforce approved measurement standards, protect consumers from being shortchanged, and promote fairness in trade.
As we are talking now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation has actually directed the weight and measure to return to crude oil terminals to ensure that what they are lifting from that area, correspond to what is approved in the ministry here.
In spite of the fact that this is service rendering, it is at the same time, a base, a very solid base for revenue generation, because the service is paid for.
When you have a CNG, you have a petrol. When you come to a filling station, you off your CNG. Immediately when you load it in it, you put your CNG in it, then you put it on to petrol. You use your petrol for like 20 to 30 minutes. Then you go back to CNG. That is the only time you can get the compress, you can get the pressure enough for it to die. If not, your car will be affected.
Now talking investment, Nigeria's capital importation rises by 67% to $5.64 billion, with FCT emerging a top foreign investment destination in Q1 of 2025. The report by the National Bureau of Statistics on Nigeria capital importation Q1 2025 says the FCT attracted $7.04 billion to come first from $2.54 billion attracted by Lagos. And during the period, the report added that Lagos is followed by Ogun State with 7.95 million, Oyo with 7.81 million, and Kaduna with 4.06 million. But at this point, we take a look at the figures at the markets. At the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian exchange, investors smiled home with 644 billion naira as the all-share index rose by 0.72%. A total of 1.701 billion shares in 35,100 deals corresponding to a market value of 30.031 billion were traded. Today's data shows 66% improvement in volume, 32% improvement in turnover, but 10% decline in deals. And on the aggregate, 127 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 53 gainers and 26 losers. That is it on business at this time.
All right, many thanks, Benny, for serving us these numbers. Let's look away from the numbers now and see what's happening in the National Assembly, as the House of Representatives has asked the Federal Character Commission to lead by example in enforcing constitutional provisions requiring equitable distribution of all cadres of posts in the public service of the Federation. Chairman, House Committee on Federal Character, Idris Wase, stated this while frowning at perceived disparity in the distribution of directors of the Commission at its headquarters and across the 6 geopolitical zones. The House Committee invited the management of the Commission for an interactive session to clear the air over observed contravention of federal character principles in some agencies of government.
So are you obeying federal character? So some have retired. No, it's not about some. Are you obeying federal character?
I'm aware that just a couple of months ago, few retired, and I'm also aware that next month, which is month of September, by the middle of September, 1 or 2 will retire. So, yes, we know we have to do this equitable distribution. Equitable distribution is also different from equal distribution, because we have to make that clear also. It doesn't mean that...
I disagree with you. Northwest had what number? Directors. Northwest, he told me 4. North Central, no, more than 4. Thank you. North Central 1. Southwest 0. Why should it be so? Why should it be so? Whether in their promotion and whatever, the constitution is very, very clear as to what they are supposed to do. And so you are the first line as far as I'm concerned.
Character Commission acknowledged finding constraints in carrying out its constitutional responsibilities of monitoring equitable distribution of positions across more than 700 ministries, departments and agencies of government, as well as maintaining its various offices in the states of the Federation. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu extends his deepest condolences to President John Mahama, the government and people of Ghana, following the helicopter crash that claimed the lives of Defense Minister Edward Oman Boma, Environment Minister Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, and 6 others. In a statement, the president assures President Mahama and all the Ghanaians that the thoughts and prayers of the government and people of Nigeria are with them during this time of profound national loss. The president urges the Ghanaian nation and the bereaved families and friends to find comfort in the knowledge that their loved ones died in the line of patriotic service to the country, and prays for the peaceful repose of the souls of the departed and strength for those they left behind. This is News Extra. There's more news shortly. Remain tuned. All right, let's serve you more news. And we have cheering news as Ekiti State Police Command has recovered a day-old baby stolen from a hospital in Ado-Ekiti and arrested a culprit. The culprit was taken to the command headquarters in Ado-Ekiti for interrogation. Olukemi Sani has more.
The 3-day-old baby stolen on Monday at the Okenyimi Health Center in Ado-Ekiti has been found and reunited with his parents, Salimotu and Mustafa Ali. Handing over the baby to his parents, the State Commissioner of Police, Joseph Iribo, said the suspect, 34-year-old Deborah Ayeni, was arrested in Afao-Ekiti following a tip-off and a CCTV footage. Narrating how the baby disappeared from the maternity ward of the hospital, a health facility located in the heart of the state capital, the Commissioner of Police said the baby was stolen less than 24 hours after its delivery on Sunday. He said it was when the nurses on duty wanted to cater for the baby in the early morning of Monday that the newly delivered baby was nowhere to be found.
When he got to the scene of crime, he saw something that looks like a cellophane bag. He picked it up and saw cotton wood. He further looked and saw a receipt where they purchased that cotton wood from a known supermarket here in Ado-Ekiti. So we have to rush also to that supermarket. Luckily, they have a CCTV, and it was played back. And we saw the lady and 3 other men in that CCTV. So that gave us a clue. So we started hunting for the lady.
The father of the baby, Mustafa Ali, said just after the delivery of his baby, a woman came to the ward with a fake pregnancy and with the pretense of being admitted by the hospital in the same ward with his wife. She became so friendly and assisted in carrying and nursing the newborn.
He come greet us, we answer her. He carried my baby, he play with her, he drop her. Okay, early in the morning, around by 5:15. So time of prayer he reach. Say make I go prayer come, make you go down. My wife he enter, he carry baby, run away.
The culprit, Deborah Ayeni, a native of Afao-Ekiti, who confessed to committing the crime, said she came into the ward with a fake pregnancy, slept over and stole the baby in the morning when the mother went to the toilet and the father to the mosque. She said she decided to steal the baby in order to prevent being abandoned by her boyfriend, who is based in the United Kingdom, whom she had earlier told of the pregnancy.
When I got to the hospital, I met them there and we were joking. So in the morning, I was holding the baby and I left with it.
But it was all joy and jubilation as the baby reunited with his parents and family at the headquarters of the Ekiti State Police Command. The culprit has been detained and will be charged to court soon. In Ado-Ekiti, Olukemi Sani, NTA News.
Justice should be served in that matter, and by the way, congratulations to the family and many thanks to the police. Talking about the police, imagine being offered $17,000 as a public servant to conceal an alleged crime. It takes a disciplined heart to resist such an offer. Interestingly, a police officer was able to overcome this temptation. SP Sentome Obi is that officer, and CSP Shaba Aliyu is also another shining example of a professional police officer. And today, both of them were decorated as Police Officers of the Year 2023 and 2024. Francis Form brings us more details about this very exciting moment.
In a solemn yet historic ceremony at the Force Headquarters, the Nigeria Police Force has paid tribute to officers whose careers now stand as case studies in courage and professionalism. CSP Shaba Aliyu, Officer of the Year 2023, and SP Sentome Obi, Police Officer of the Year 2024, emerged top after a rigorous selection process, one deliberately designed to reward not just performance, but character. IGP Kayode Egbetokun sent the NPF jet to convey them to Abuja from states where they are currently serving their recognition. The IGP says it's not an accident.
These officers did not lobby for favor. They let their work speak, and the institution has responded publicly, proudly, and with full institutional endorsement.
This year's ceremony comes with a transformative policy shift. Any officer who earns the national title of Police Officer of the Year or secures back-to-back category commendations will be recommended for accelerated promotion, an initiative now being implemented in full view of the nation. From over 300,000 officers, only 38 met the rigorous benchmark for this rare elevation.
A particular group of criminals will just walk up, kill anybody they want to kill, and collect whatever they want to take. At times, they kill police officers and take their guns. So I took it as a challenge. So that was how I started tracking Momotimi and his gang. Eventually, I tracked him to Port Harcourt, got him arrested, recovered some guns, and that was how himself and other criminal gang that he operates with.
The doors of honor are wide open, but they will not be entered with empty hands. Bring your excellence. Bring your results, the IGP advised. Francis from NTA News.
All right, many thanks, Francis. Still on security, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, enjoins youths to participate actively in nation building and support ongoing drive to secure lives and property. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the CDS stated this in a message at the Defense Media Operations Town Hall engagement with Youth Corps members in Kaba, Kogi State.
Another one.
These are prospective leaders, captains of industry, and ambassadors of peace preparing for nation building. The Defense Media Operations Town Hall engagement team is at the Kaba NYC orientation camp to interface with the youth on security issues, national development, curb misinformation, and to build mutual trust between the military and the youth population. While speaking on their roles in promoting peace, the Defense Media Operations enjoined the youth to view the task of securing the country as a collective responsibility.
We are here under the directive of the Chief of Defense Staff to interact directly with corps members, giving them security awareness, talking about national security, personal security, and also reorient them now that they are graduates as ambassadors of the country, how to stay safe, the civil populace, and even the environment they are going to serve with.
My take home is how to be security conscious, wherever we go to as corps members.
Before we think about national security, we have to take care of ourselves first. We have the role to secure our lives, secure our environment.
Similar Defense Media Operations Town Hall engagement team are in different parts of the country propagating the message of peace, security, and unity, a critical component of non-kinetic operation. From Kaba in Kogi State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And away from security matters now, let's turn our attention to health, as President Bola Tinubu has directed the expedited rollout of free health care for low-income retirees under the contributory pension scheme, emphasizing its importance for social protection and dignity in retirement. He also mandated the prompt implementation of pension increases and a minimum pension guarantee to provide a safety net for vulnerable pensioners. Additionally, President Tinubu instructed the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, to urgently resolve the long-standing police pension issue, ensuring that police personnel can retire with dignity. The President supports pension reforms, including foreign currency contributions for Nigerians in the diaspora, to enhance retiree welfare and expand the pension scheme's reach. Similarly, the federal government is upskilling efforts in nutrition intervention through adequate funding and human capital investment, which are key in preventing child mortality, improve health outcomes, and ensuring economic productivity of the nation. Senior Special Assistant to the President, Uju Rochas Anwuka, stated this at the launch of Nutrition 774 initiative in Jos. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
The second highest burden of malnourished children globally, with 31.5% of children under 5 years affected. Nutrition 774 initiative of the federal government aims to tackle malnutrition across the country's 774 LGAs through multi-sectorial, community-driven approach. Key players are here to scale up action at ensuring child malnutrition is reduced to the barest minimum.
We will further amplify and strengthen the already established structures to upscale efforts and redirect interventions.
We have to comment on the health, sanitation, and all other aspects as an indices for us to provide on this initiative.
For the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Health, the initiative is a national priority given the alarming statistics of stunted children.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, finds this Nutrition 774 initiative very dear. And his message to Plateau people is take this as your own. Lead on it, champion it, ensure that your communities have the right nutrition interventions.
At this meeting, emphasis was also placed on the need to prioritize employment of more nutritionists into the state and LGAs for delivery of quality nutrition services, as well as timely release of the Child Nutrition Fund. Governor Caleb Mutfwang, who serves as the state chairman of the initiative, represented by the secretary to the state government, says the initiative signifies renewed commitment of the state government in improving the nutrition needs of children in the state.
Taking into cognizance our peculiarities and emerging issues, we are waiting for the federal government to finalize the review of the national policy on food and nutrition to realign ourselves to the new policy directives and administrative provisions.
Earlier, the State Council Committee on Nutrition was inaugurated by the Secretary to the Plateau State Government. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, has affirmed that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is fully committed to championing a new era of African health sovereignty, one driven by resilient systems, domestic innovation and African agency. In Accra, Ghana, where he represented the president at the Africa Health Sovereignty Summit with the theme African Health Sovereignty in a Reimagined Global Health Governance Architecture, the minister emphasized that the Accra initiative marks a turning point in placing Africa at the center of global health governance. Professor Pate highlighted President Tinubu's belief that Africa can no longer remain a passive recipient in global health, but must become an active architect of solutions that serve its people. He tabled 12 bold proposals for action, ranging from continental health data sovereignty and renewed South-South partnerships.
Pivot towards significant increases in domestic financing mobilization,
including push for renegotiated debt relief, innovative tariffs and taxes, develop new domestic financing models.
Health governance must be democratic, it must be just, and it must be fit for the 21st century realities. At this moment, we're called to redesign the architecture that has for far too long excluded Africa's voices, excluded Africa's needs and innovations.
And still talking health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has confirmed 3 additional deaths from Lassa fever, bringing the total number of fatalities in 2025 to 155. According to the agency's latest situation report covering week 29 from July 14 to 20, 2025, a total of 822 confirmed cases have been reported so far this year, spanning 105 local government areas across 21 states. The current case fatality rate stands at 18.9%, marking a noticeable increase from the 17.1% reported during the same period in 2024. The NCDC highlights that 89% of all confirmed cases originated from just 5 states: Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, Taraba, and Ebonyi, underscoring the persistent regional concentration of the disease. The number of newly confirmed cases remained unchanged from the previous week, with all new infections recorded in Ondo and Edo states. Notably, no new cases were reported among healthcare workers during the review period. The report also pointed to a year-on-year decline in both suspected and confirmed cases when compared to 2024. In response to the outbreak, the NCDC reassures the public that the National Lassa Fever Technical Working Group, a collaborative multi-sectoral response team, continues to lead nationwide containment effort. The agency urges Nigerians to maintain proper hygiene, avoid contact with rodents, and seek prompt medical attention if symptoms occur. Away from health, let's talk agriculture. Meet Borno farmers who till the land and bring forth the harvest that feed their communities and beyond. But for them, reaching their farmlands on time is always a challenge. Hours spent walking to farmlands and carrying heavy load have taken a toll on their bodies and their livelihood. But now, thanks to the Borno State government's Free Farmers Transport Initiative, farmers no longer have to trek for hours, easing the burden of transportation and renewing hope for a more productive harvest season. Pauline Kudivana will talk us through this.
With farming tools in hands and hope in their hearts, the farmers head to their fields with renewed enthusiasm, ready to till the soil, plant the seeds, and reap the fruit of their labor.
Getting trip transport and coming back, we really enjoy and we really appreciate the state government.
We will make sure that we farm and produce many food.
This is the 4th year this initiative is providing pickup vans, golf wagons, open-body tricycles and Borno Express buses to convey farmers daily from the city to their farmlands and back completely free of charge. On average, each farmer saves between 500 and 1,000 naira daily in transport costs, a significant relief in today's economic climate. The scheme, which officially commenced over the weekend, is expected to run throughout the rainy season until the harvest period. Each day, the farmers are conveyed early in the morning under the protection of a combined team of security operatives and allowed to work on their farmlands for about 7 to 8 hours before being transported back to the city.
Many who had abandoned farming have now returned thanks to the governor's initiative. With this free transportation, we can now go to our farms with ease without the burden of transport cost or security threat.
My farmland is nearby, but before now, I used to spend 400 naira daily on transport.
We are very happy. My family and I will now be able to save a lot of money.
The state government has engaged us, and we are grateful to be earning a steady income to sustain our businesses and livelihoods. We sincerely thank the government.
Commissioner for Youth, Sport and Poverty Alleviation, who also serves as chairman of the Free Farmers Transport Initiative, Abuja, commended the unwavering commitment of the security forces in providing cover for the farmers and urged the beneficiaries to adhere strictly to the scheduled closing time, has approved by security personnel to ensure smooth and safe operations throughout the farming season.
Every year, the state government is spending 216 million naira for the cost of transportation. So I'm using this chance to call on all the farmers to ensure that we plant plants like sorghum, maize and millet. I have observed that most of the people want cash crop. If everybody goes and plant cash crop, that means at the end of the exercise, we may not get what we want to feed.
The Free Farmers Transport Initiative is one of the state government's ongoing efforts to revive agrarian livelihoods, strengthen food security, and cushion the economic impact of insurgency and displacement in Borno State. In Maiduguri, Paul Nkujevana, NTA News.
Many thanks, Pauline, for that report. Now joining us for this conversation in our Maiduguri Network Center is the Borno State Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Professor Usman Tar. Many thanks, Prof, for joining us. Professor Tar, can you hear me?
I can. Thank you very much.
All right. Now, we know the Borno State government is doing so much.
Thank you.
What informed this initiative, talking about free transportation for farmers?
Pardon? Can you repeat, please?
All right. Now, talking about this initiative, talking about the free transportation for farmers, why? We seem to be having a challenge with that connection with the Commissioner for Information and Internal Security there. All right, let's see if that has been fixed. Professor Tar, can you hear me clearly now?
Very well.
All right, so let's get into it quickly. What informed this initiative, talking about the free transportation for farmers?
If you meet, I cannot hear her now.
All right. We seem to be having a challenge with that connection. Once we get it right, of course, we'll get back to Borno State. Let's move on now to Jigawa. In another move to deepen agricultural participation among the working class, the Jigawa State government has rolled out the second phase of its workers' agricultural support program aimed at enhancing food security and boosting socio-economic well-being across the state. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the program is in line with the Jigawa State government's efforts towards ensuring food for all in the state.
The program, which debuted last year with 8,888 beneficiaries, will this year empower 10,500 workers, enabling them to venture into farming activities as an alternative and sustainable means of livelihood. Under the initiative, loans will be disbursed to beneficiaries and recovered through a structured salary deduction plan, making the scheme self-sustaining and impactful. Flagging off the program on behalf of Governor Umar Namadi, the Deputy Governor Aminu Usman stated that the government remains committed to providing practical support that will uplift citizens and stimulate agribusinesses in all sectors of the society.
This program is a clear demonstration to our unwavering commitment to improve the livelihood of our civil servants and public officials to sustain their agricultural transformation in line with the present administration 12-point agenda.
We are vigilant leadership and unwavering support for agricultural reform and the welfare of our civil servants have been the driving force behind this initiative.
Overarching goal of this program is to address critical challenges of food insecurity and economic hardship.
With this second phase, authorities say more workers will be encouraged to embrace farming as a viable economic venture while contributing to food production and job creation across the state. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
All right, looks like we've re-established connection with our network center in Borno State. Commissioner Usman Tar, if you can hear me, I'd like to find out what informed the government's decision to give free rides to farmers in the state. All right, that seems not to be tidy at the moment, so let's look at other news. All right, before we take more news, let's pause. Many thanks for staying with us. Let's get back to Maiduguri now. It looks like there's a perfection to that connection. Professor Usman Tar, if you can hear me, I wanted to find out why the government decided to give free transportation to farmers in the state.
The Borno State government took this decision within the context of the 25-year development plan, in which agriculture is one of the pillars, to support farmers, not only with farm input, but also with logistics support. The free transport program frees farmers resources so that they will use the resources in terms of supporting their farming activities. In addition, the free transport program is a secure program in the sense that the farmers are also attached to security escort. And this also gives them extra time to use on the farmland. This is all happening because Borno is an active war zone. The counterinsurgency program of the federal government is taking its toll on the adversary, and we have to secure our farmers. We anticipate that this program will be sustained throughout the tenure of His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, the Executive Governor of Borno State. So far, last year, we have experienced double expansion in terms of farm yield, and this year we anticipate even more. So this is an initiative in order to make farming more sustainable and to divest in providing direct palliative of grains to the farmers, so that the farmers will get their own grains, get their own food in order to take care of their households. But there is also a balance that we need to strike between cash crop and food crop. Most farmers are given the latitude to choose whatever they want to farm. Borno's land is very fertile. Whatever you plant, you get high yield. So we are encouraging the farmers to strike the balance between food and cash crops so that they have enough food while also, growing cash crop that they will use in order to enhance their family income. So the 200 million naira that we spent, the government spends, will actually yield a lot of profit in terms of household income. So the program is going to be continued for as long as the tenure of His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum lasts.
All right, many thanks, Professor Tar. Fantastic initiative, I must say. But we gather that over 200 million naira is being spent annually for this initiative, like you mentioned. Could you help us appraise the benefits with what has been expended? I mean, is it profitable to continue in this direction? All right, looks like Professor Tar is done with the questions, but let's move on now. The Lokoja-Abuja highway has remained a nightmare amidst efforts by the federal government to complete the dual carriageway, which started in 2006. Solomon Ayedehin, who was at the Konto Kafir end of the highway, reports that a falling bridge on the highway poses a threat to road users plying the road.
The strategic position of the Abuja-Lokoja highway is significant to the socio-economic development of the nation. Apart from serving as a link between the northern and southern parts of the country, it also promotes trade and commerce, as well as connecting of Nigerians. Despite its significance, the state of the highway calls for concern. Most importantly now is a failed bridge at Kotonkarfe along Abuja-Lokoja dual carriageway, following a fuel tanker accident on the bridge, hitting up the structure and causing it to fail, as explained by the authority. The continued pressure by heavy-duty vehicles in the aftermath of the accident has weakened its expansion joints, causing dangerous potholes on the bridge. In the meantime, traffic on the bridge have been diverted for the safety of the road users.
The road is not good at all.
If they repair this road, the benefit will affect the poor masses.
The level of damage caused by the fire accident have been assessed by Bridge Design Department in our headquarters. The design will be concluded and approved. Very soon, the prayer work on the bridge will commence.
Nigerians are hopeful that the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration will see to the completion of Abuja-Lokoja Highway to ease traffic on the route. In Kotonkarfe, Kogi State, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has assured Nigerians that all projects under the NNPCL tax credit scheme will be completed. Works Minister David Umahi gave the assistance at a press briefing in Abuja. Assurance rather, considering the importance of the NNPCL tax credit scheme projects to the socio-economic development of the nation. The Works Minister explains plans by the federal government to ensure continuity of the projects.
The NNPC project, we will need a total of 3 trillion naira to have them totally completed. So we have compiled them. We are going to make a memo to Mr. President on that.
Regarding the filling portion of the Sandfield area on the shoulders of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway being circulated on the social media, the minister says there's no cause for alarm.
All I say is that Mr. I want to thank the SGF, our father, our leader, for making the roads that were constructed. Mr. President has directed immediate action in all this location because the chain is as strong as the weakest link. If any sections of this road or bridges, gets cut, then the movement is impaired.
The procurement to carry out palliative measures on sports that are in very deplorable condition on the road projects across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The minister also explains efforts to rehabilitate damaged beams of the bridges caused by overladen tracks and the introduction of gantries on the bridges to forestall future reoccurrence. He urges Nigerians to support President Tinubu's administration, ensuring that all road projects across the zones of the Federation will be given the required attention. An auto crash along Lambata-Lapai Road has claimed the lives of 22 persons and injured 20 others. Eyewitness account reveals that the accident, which occurred around 3:40 a.m., involved a lorry carrying passengers and goods from Kano en route Lagos. It was alleged that the driver lost control and crashed due to fatigue and bad condition of the road. The Federal Road Safety Corps Safety Sector Commander Aisha Saudu confirmed the accident and cautioned transport companies and drivers against night travels and that vehicles must be in good condition before plying the roads. The Federal Road Safety Corps has arrested more than 100 road traffic offenders who drive against traffic around the Nyanya-Karo axis of the Federal Capital Territory. Oyeye Miajayi joined the special patrol conducted by the Corps and filed in this report.
It's another busy day on the road, but not for these drivers. The Federal Safety Corps had rolled out a special patrol, targeting those who still insist on taking one-way routes despite the risk. There was no room for status or sentiment. Once caught, offenders were pulled over without hesitation. Many were simply unlucky.
In the compound of the Yaya Unit Command, and one thing that seemed different beyond the regular activities of the FRSC official is the fact that some offenders are being booked. But beyond that, the fate of many are being decided in this building.
Take Mr. Emeka, for instance, a first-time offender. He pleaded with the mobile court for mercy, but the law, it stayed firm.
Defendant is hereby sentenced to pay a total fine of 65,000 naira for the traffic offences so committed.
In addition, the defendant's driver's license shall be suspended for 6 months, starting from today. This is the judgment of the court. As the court pleases.
Yesterday, 63 people were prosecuted. Today, so far, 46 are prosecuted. It's not going to only stop here. We are going to extend it to other parts of the country.
Most importantly, the issue of riding against traffic. There can be nothing more dangerous than somebody opposing the general traffic, and that is exactly what we are doing.
While enforcement was top of the agenda, this was also a chance to educate motorists and bikemen alike on just how dangerous one-way driving can be.
Hit me and I had a fracture on my leg.
Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Let's look away from road issues now. Elimination of human interference and strict compliance with appropriate standards can help in checking recurring cases of building collapse in Lagos and Nigeria at large. In this report, Diana Adley takes a look at integrity of buildings and how people can know when the alarm bell rings.
A roof over one's head is supposed to be a safe haven. However, scary scenarios have shown it may not be so, as some don't sleep with their eyes closed. In Lagos, the integrity of buildings, even right from construction, has caused many to pay the ultimate price. The record has been horrifying, from series of building collapse over the years to the November 1, 2021 case, when the state recorded the first high-rise 21-story building collapse on Gerrard Road, Ikoyi, a tragic situation that claimed about 48 lives, including that of the owner of the property, and other cases in year 2025. Crucial questions that need answers are these. Are there warning signs that indicate a building or ongoing construction is distressed?
Buildings also have a way of speaking to us. So some of the signs include cracks on the walls. Sometimes you will see it in beams or even the floor themselves, especially diagonal cracks or widening cracks are the ones that are very dangerous.
Experts shed more light on the type of sand needed for construction, quantity and quality of cement, and other appropriate materials for building standard structures.
Follow the rule, follow the policy, the regulatory process. When they are submitting design to you for approval, before it gets to construction stage, don't just get your checking list and say, oh, please, do they have structural drawing? You take. Do they have your technical reports? You take.
Adhering to standard practices and using quality building materials, experts insist are key to reducing the menace of building collapse in Lagos and Nigeria at large. Diana Ajale, NTA News.
As concerns about security continue to grow, Nigerians have been urged to be vigilant and take an active role in reporting suspicious elements or activities with the See Something, Say Something initiative. Now, this concept, according to residents of Zamfara State, will help prevent crimes and enhance public safety. From Gusau, Haliru Mohammed reports that the campaign for the See Something, Say Something is gaining traction.
Ensuring public safety is a shared responsibility that can be achieved through various means, including the See Something, Say Something initiative.
It is a way of maybe keeping our society secured. Does not mean that maybe if you have somebody who happens to be your neighbor, maybe you now develop suspicion against that person, don't you keep quiet.
Ensure I'm alert. I'm alert to see, vigilant to see. I have seen a strange face.
The respondents who regretted how some people have become spies for financial gains called on Nigerians to be patriotic and leverage technology to promote the approach.
From the interior of your room, on your bed, you can report an incident. Nobody will even see you at the police station, not to talk of suspecting that you are the one that leaked an information about him.
They also emphasized the need to overcome barriers to reporting suspicious activities through fostering trust between law enforcement and the community, anonymous reporting options, public awareness, and community engagement, among others. It is believed that the See Something, Say Something initiative has the potential to make a significant impact on public safety and security in not only Zamfara State, but Nigeria at large. In Gusau, Halil Muhammad, NTA News.
Well, thanks, Halil. Just as we report news to you, when you see something, do well to report also. Now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has inaugurated a 23-member committee to determine the admission eligibility of 599 outstanding underage candidates who scored 320 and above in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. Out of over 11,000 candidates in that category, JAMB Registrar Professor Isaac Oyelede emphasizes that scoring 320 is not an automatic ticket to university admission. He notes that each of the affected candidates must also attain at least 80% in both their school-based assessments and post-UTME examinations to be considered.
Be 1 in a million that we cannot allow that to just be subsumed. The panel of experts that will consider them will sit in Abuja, Lagos, and Owerri.
Advise parents against cutting corners to secure admission for their underage children, warning that maturity and readiness remain key factors in tertiary education success.
Young boys into the world of crime, bribing people, trying to influence the admission and so on. You are introducing them into the world of crime to allow these students to emerge normally, naturally. And we are assuring you that there will be fair play. Everything will be transparent.
Only those who meet all requirements at each stage of the rigorous screening process, the registrar says, will be recommended for admission, and the final list of successful candidates is expected to be released in September. Away from JAMB, the search for compressed natural gas for motorists in Abuja who converted their car engines has become a nightmare experience. The surge in CNG conversions is colliding with an acute scarcity of filling stations, further compounded by sharp practices that leaves many drivers stranded. Now, Lydia Sampson reports on how CNG users now spend endless hours, including sleeping in CNG queues.
The introduction of compressed natural gas for many motorists who embrace CNG conversion is about chasing a cleaner, cheaper path. Yet, a challenge looms. Scarce filling stations like distant stars barely lighten the night for thousands. Over 100,000 vehicles now vie for inadequate stations.
We are sleeping here 2 days, 2 days sometimes.
The station, I believe, is not enough. The people who have converted are higher than the demand now is higher than the supply that it has already.
I'd converted my car to compressed natural gas, and initially, like about a year ago, it was exciting to have cleaner and cheaper alternative. But right now, the major challenge is that many motorists have converted, but capacity of filling station is a major challenge. You can't believe that we're told that the whole of this place that looked like a park is actually motorists who had converted their cars waiting for CNG. And they could wait for hours. Some even spend the night. As a CNG user who for months avoided the visible queues due to my schedule, I can genuinely identify with these experiences.
They should also make the environment a soft landing for people that are ready to invest and have more of mega stations.
For now, the government's vision sings loud. 150 stations by year's end, and 1 million converted rides by 2027, fueled by billions invested and a growing network of conversion centers.
We're looking at expanding in, putting up refill stations, daughter stations, mother stations, and whatnot.
Safety is number one. We have to be very careful about that, and we need to make sure what we are bringing out, we are getting the result back at the end of the day.
Yes. The private sector's cautious steps reflects the lofty tone of billion-naira ventures needed to build new stations, a costly symphony requiring both courage and capital.
Investments will lag demand if the environment is in a growth phase. But as that happens because investment continues to come in, then supply will increase, and then demand and supply will balance out, right? And also price will then come down.
In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
There's more news in a bit, but for now, let's take some commercials. Glad to have you back. President Bola Tinubu congratulates 3 Nigerian students, Nafisa Abdullahi Aminu, Rukia Muhammad Fema, and Hadiza Kashim Kali, on their outstanding achievement at the 2025 Teen Eagle Global Competition in London. The students excelled in English language, communication skills, and debate, with Nafisa named overall best in English language skills. Rukia emerged as the overall best in debate, and Hadiza winning the Outstanding Talent Award, gold medal. The president commends these exceptional young Nigerians for their feat, affirming that their achievements brightens Nigeria's future. He also praises the quality of Nigeria's education system, which nurtures talented individuals. President Tinubu encourages the students to remain dedicated to their studies, wishing them continued success. He reaffirms his administration's commitment to education, highlighting investments in the sector and initiatives like the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, to support indigent students. A bit on politics. President Bola Tinubu's administration has received commendation for its efforts towards the development of northern Nigeria, with numerous key projects already in progress across the region. This was the core message at the All Progressives Congress APC stakeholders meeting held in Kano, where party leaders and stakeholders praised the president's initiatives aimed at improving infrastructure, enhancing security, and driving economic growth in the north. Awal Salisu reports.
The meeting brought together party leaders, elected officials, elders, and some political appointees from Kano State to express their appreciation for President Tinubu's administration. The stakeholders at the meeting cited key initiatives by the federal government aimed at revitalizing infrastructure, improving security, and promoting economic development across the region. This in addition to ongoing projects in transportation, agriculture, and youth empowerment, as evidenced by the administration's commitment.
The resolution is that we are with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu 100%.
Our main aim of this meeting is for us to come together, for us to show the world that APC is still intact in Kano State.
We have to sensitize our people, more especially those at the grassroots. That is why we call everybody from the local government.
We are aware of the good projects, infrastructure, education, agriculture, and of course the major of it, defense.
From Abuja to Kaduna, Zaria to Kano, as you can see that project has gone far.
Our convergence here show our commitment. It shows that we are under one umbrella.
The APC stakeholders emphasized the message of unity and collaboration as essential to building a stronger, more prosperous Nigeria. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the governing All Progressives Congress has been in the media headlines for many rational reasons since the emergence of a professor and astute public administrator, Nentawe Yewada, as its 7th national chairman. But as a salient path of this leading character in the new chapter of the governing party that some Nigerians do not know about, which political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga will now unravel.
Born some 57 years ago from the extraction of gas in Kanke local government area of Plateau State into the family of a Christian instructor, Yewada rose from primary to tertiary institutions and finished with distinction, earning him a pride of place in the heart of academics. He was later appointed Resident Electoral Commissioner of Benue State from 2017 to 2021 and later joined the governorship race in Plateau State in 2023, which he lost to his closest rival in the People's Democratic Party at the Supreme Court. He was later appointed Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and assigned to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Social Development and Poverty Reduction. Yewada in July 25 was chosen at the 14th National Executive Committee meeting to lead the party as its 7th national chairman after the exit of his predecessor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, who resigned on health ground.
Our journey as a government and as a party has been fulfilling and rewarding.
I pledge without hesitation that I will work with everybody in the party. I'll unite the party. I'll build the party. I'll expand the party with you as the focus and the building block and the support that I will require to drive the party as needed by all of us so that we can fulfill the dream of Nigerians who have reposed their hope in the Renew Hope agenda.
Look at him here. This is a handsome, tall man, full of energy and intelligence. I think our party were very excited and happy with the choice of our new national chairman, and we are confident that it is what we are looking for.
Yilwada's transition into party politics is first seen as an advantage owing to his unblemished records with INEC and vast knowledge as ICT expert, which will assist in fast-tracking the party's e-registration process nationwide. His emergence also marked an end to the trail of agitations for the restoration of the national chairmanship seat to the North Central after the geopolitical zone was cut out of the equation following the exit of Abdullahi Adamu in 2023. Professor Natanwe Yilwada said as a bridge between the old and the new generations, he will continue to midwife the demography for the unity, peace, strength and tranquility of the governing party. As for him, a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
In other news, residents of Kwara and Niger states bordering Benin Republic jubilate over news of DSS capture of Mahmouda terror group leader Abubakar Abba Mahmouda. Villages in Borotin, local government area of Kwara State, whose communities have suffered the most attacks at the hands of Mahmouda terrorists, are happy about the disappearance of Mahmouda, a situation that has put his followers in disarray. News filtered into the community that officers of the Department of State Services, DSS, may have covertly tailed and captured Mahmouda as he visited one of his numerous witch doctors. Residents thanked President Bola Tinubu for responding to their cries for help, expressing the hope that news of Mahmouda's capture by the DSS would restore peace to the traumatized villagers. Mahmouda, a breakaway faction of Boko Haram believed to have links with terror groups in neighboring countries, migrated to Niger State over 5 years ago after dislodging guards at the Kainji Lake National Park. Let's talk sports. She's a mother, a surgeon, and now the first player to win 5 straight Afro basket titles. Just 7 months after giving birth and grieving her father, Sarah Ogoke returned to the court for Nigeria, balancing motherhood with medals. In this special report, we bring you the story of sacrifice, strength, and history. The story of Sarah Ogoke. Bright Ebucho has the details.
While Nigerians are still basking in the euphoria of the D-Tigress' extraordinary achievement, clinching a record 5th consecutive FIBA Women's Afro Basket title, one name shines a little brighter in this moment of national pride: Sarah Ogoke. The 35-year-old guard, a founding pillar of the golden generation of Nigerians women's basketball, has carved her name into the history books as the first player to win 5 consecutive Afro basket titles. But Ogoke's latest triumph isn't just about trophies. It's about perseverance, patriotism, and personal sacrifice. Born on June 25, 1990 in New York to Nigerian parents Bentley Ogoke and Edith Oguru Ogoke, Sarah's journey is one of dedication both on and off the court. A graduate of Southern Polytechnic State University in Georgia with a Bachelor of Science in Biology, Pre-Medicine, Ogoke didn't stop there. She is also a podiatric surgeon, juggling medicine with elite basketball, a rare feat in any corner of the world.
The journey has been amazing. This story started when I was 12 years old in the United States of America. I initially started with football and then shifted over to basketball, where after playing in JSS and then SS, I was able to receive a full scholarship.
Ogoke rejoined the national team in Abuja under extraordinary personal circumstances. She has just given birth to her first child, a baby boy, only 7 months before the tournament. Even more poignant was her recent loss of her father, a painful blow that would have kept many athletes away. Instead, Sarah turned grief into grace.
I received the call to come and play for Nigeria in this 2025 Abidjan Afrobasket. My husband said that he'll be there to support me. Mom also joined us in Abidjan, and I had all the support necessary to allow my little boy to enjoy this amazing experience.
Her leadership, experience, and fighting spirit were infectious, galvanizing the younger generation of players in the squad. A veteran leader and a voice in the locker room when it mattered most. Now, with 5 Afrobasket gold medals, a thriving medical career, a new role as a mother, Sarah Ogoke embodies what it means to serve with heart and honor. Bright Ebochu, NTA News.
Did I hear you say brilliant? Of course. You know what to say. If you want something said, ask a man. But if you want something done, ask a woman. I'm sure Badi Adeleye agrees with me. He's standing by for more sports news. Badi.
Well, many things, yeah, and of course, it's the season for women. We're not done with the Tigress, as more Nigerians have continued to react to President Tinubu's reward to Nigeria's the Tigress following their 5th consecutive victory at the Women's Afrobasket. Sports enthusiasts believe the new thinking could be the springboard to more impressive outings on the global stage.
What government did for them, I think, is a motivation. If every government can support sports in this angle, I think sports will become better.
Reward from the president, and it was encouraging. So, nothing bad.
Let's turn our attention to volleyball now, as it will be an all-Nigerian affair in the girls' final of the 2025 CAVB Under-18 Under-19 Beach Volleyball Championship in Abuja on Thursday, after 2 Nigerian teams won their respective semi-final matches. The last 2 surviving Nigerian teams in the boys' category, however, failed to make it to the final after losing their semi-final games on Wednesday, and will now fight for bronze in another all-Nigerian affair. Thursday's final is expected to be graced by First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who has been a leading supporter of volleyball in Nigeria.
Thank you for the President of Nigerian Volleyball Federation for showing us around the world, and I know we are going to stand on that podium and carrying the first position to pay him back.
Mama Tinubu came in for the opening and closing ceremony. That has gingered us to even host under-18 in this country. And today, I'm telling you, what we have sown is beginning to yield fruit.
What a way to end it. It's back to you, Nyere.
Badi. President Tinubu mourns the passing of Dr. Doyinshola Hamidat Abiola, describes her as an amazing and icon in Nigerian journalism who left an indelible mark on the industry. For careers spanning decades, she broke gender barriers, becoming the first woman to edit a national newspaper and the first female managing director of the daily newspaper. In a statement, the president says Dr. Doyinshola Abiola's contribution to journalism, gender equity and democracy are immeasurable. President Tinubu sends his condolences to her family, the Abiolas and Abaoba families, and the people of Lagos and Ogun states.